Yeah, my bad, guys. I'm not at my computer today. I'm visiting Sergio for the weekend. Okay. Let's see. We had talk shows long before we had podcasts, so it has to be about the nature of how you watch it. Yeah, I guess so. It could also be the type of audience that appeals to the content. I don't know. Could be weird. Yeah, I don't know. It's interesting. I'll definitely look into it. I didn't know that. Yeah, that's true. I guess talk shows could be more TV based if you really want to think about it. But yeah, let's see. Yeah. All right, let's see. This is going to be so weird with the trackpad. My bad if I'm a bit off. Yeah, who knows? Anyways. Okay, so pretty much going to summarize what we talked about on Wednesday, right? Pretty much high-low retracement, whereas the retracement came from H12 wick, right? Keep in mind we have essentially final push-up, liquidity grab, indecision. This wick pushes up before we continue lower, and we do not mitigate it. We don't even feel inefficiency. So technically, even this entire area is considered a point of interest, right? But this point of interest, right, when we zoom in, even though we are bearish long term, right, we reach the POI, we give a reaction, which is technically a pullback based on low high retracement, right? But the retracement generates, right, a new high, a new preliminary high here. So this is now a solidified low based on low high retracement. So naturally, if this now takes out structure point, we are now bearish, high, low. Okay, so as you can see, right, we had these wicks that I kind of didn't want to worry about. I didn't really care too much about, just because you don't see those on EURUSD, but you do see those on DXY. So who knows? But if you really wanted to interpret it, you could see it as a inefficiency fill or maybe a SC inside of there. So you have reaction, right? Whatever happens here generates a continuation, right? But because we are now bearish here, right, we are also acknowledging the fact that even though our overall is bearish, our swing here is bullish. Why? Because our bullish swing structure, or even, right, so our bullish swing structure is necessary to come back through the pullback of the high and low to reach a POI. So we are now reaching an obstacle. So if you go to the daily here, right, it's 100% okay to take any type of reaction here based on daily inefficiency. If you go to M15, right, it is 100% okay to even want to pursue maybe something inside of this wick where you have a pretty much a reaction, creates a new high, which generates a solidified low. So this is now technically, right, a reaction to the upside, but we also have to consider that because this is now a solidified low, I'm also looking at high, low retracement, right? So as you can see, the reaction generated a move to the upside, but all it did was solidify a low. So solidification of a low generates the pullback. Right now, wherever this decided to mitigate from, I believe, right, as you can see there, inefficiency fill generated from the reaction of the daily POI, but the daily POI did not fit the overall narrative. So as you can see, this reaction generates enough bearish order flow to take out a new low. Right now, this is the interesting part, because right, this here is our daily inefficiency fill right there. Daily inefficiency fill caused the reaction. This can now be interpreted as a type of disruption, but I'm also considering or playing devil's advocate with myself here, with also acknowledging that we have H4 inefficiency here. So that's a bit alerting, because if we're looking at, you know, distance, right, we see the first new low generated, low generated, low generated, substantial new low, not so much, right? So it becomes alerting to me that, you know, we're seeing a decline here, right? And not to mention we're reacting from an H4 POI, but we still have not reached a structure break. So in my opinion, if it is a disruption, right, and you want to play based on that disruption, then, right, you could easily see this as mitigation, break of structure, right? Not so much of a pullback here, right? But theoretically, if this bearish structure will continue, you have to react here at the most, right? You have to react there. So that does not mean I'm trying to play based on this reaction. I will only play based on this narrative if this reaction is in place. So if we get that reaction, come here, take out this low, and we see a decent retracement with some type of supporting elements on EURUSD, then that is a high probable trade for me. Right, but that's only if the narrative is portrayed via here. Right, because theoretically, if we see up here and we come up, right, then that's technically a bearish break of structure. So you now need to wait for that bearish break of structure in order to make that play, because you've already taken out the preliminary level of structure, meaning this is not a solidified low, which could be seen as unwillingness. Right, so it's all about trying to justify a position and making it make sense. Right, because if you can't make it make sense, then theoretically it should not succeed. But yeah, it's pretty weird right now, because we did not create the substantial new low and we reacted from H4 POI. But I mean, looking at our weekly, right, very bearish, very bearish. So keep in mind, trying not to worry too much about the smaller time frames. Keep in mind the overall picture in play, because this is a very nice reversal pattern here. But yeah, I mean, best case scenario, we reach back into this, right, and we don't have that bias that we were talking about right now, where the invalidation point being that M15 here, right, where this being the invalidation point, and we could potentially start reaching up for a POI. But just because that weekly is there, right, doesn't mean it has to react from there. Keep in mind there is technically a turbulence point here. So who knows? I'm very interested, but I am still bearish. I don't really have a reason not to be bearish. Right, we never really had a reason to be bullish. Outside of a swing correction, which took, you know, about Q1, right? And keep in mind, we also pointed out that a quarter tendency of EU, it's either bullish or bearish, right? Well, this was the COVID situation, right? COVID situation as well, right? Mainly bearish, mainly bearish, mainly bullish. So who's to say we aren't mainly bearish here, right? As long as we give the proper signs, right? So who knows? We'll see, because we're also approaching monthly inefficiency. So I'm really just curious to see the next 2-3 weeks, see how we play out. But I'm still supportive of the fact that this is disruption here. Still supportive of that. And because we're so deep down that it's theoretically, in my opinion, not too probable to see this continue higher, right? Or even be bullish on it long term, right? Keep in mind, if you want to use rules here as well, you have the preliminary breakout structure here signifying unwillingness. So interesting to see. Yeah, it makes sense. It's just, it needs that catalyst, right? Remember, cause and effect. Need a catalyst. But let's see, EU. Wait. Say that again. Say that one more time. If we take this high out, yes. Yeah, that's what that would be interpreted as, and that would probably be like a six month. Actually no. But yeah, it's just it needs so much for it to be considered bullish that it's much more. I don't want to say easier, but it's much less complex to assume the continuation. A lot of things have to go right in order for this to reverse. Oh really? I haven't. I heard Falco dropped one today too. I'm gonna look at him after the Zoom. Did he get the chance to? Anyways, all right, it's the same thing here. Right, we could be looking at an overall liquidity grab if we take out that high, right? Because we are bearish, but remember that we talked about, right? We talked about liquidity grab, right? Using the open of the candle, right? And as you can see, we have the reaction in play, and this could be seen as a type of liquidity grab in terms of maybe a 2-week, monthly maybe. Nope, wrong. Oh, but anyways, you guys get what I'm saying. If we take out this low, react from a POI, and take out the preliminary high, then that, in my opinion, is essentially showing its narrative to want to continue higher. So as you can see, we reacted from, let me see, right here. Reacted from here, right? We reacted once and that failed. So this to me is weak bearish order flow. So even if we are to correct lower, then theoretically I would still look for buys, right? And more than likely the correction, if it occurs, it's going to be very choppy. But yeah, keep in mind, right, here's where the continuation BOS concept comes into play, right? As you can see here, continuation BOS, right, retracement, unwillingness, but continues higher because we're still bullish here, right? But as we said with DXY here as well, we have reached an unsubstantial new high, and we've also reacted from an H1 POI. Right there. Right, pretty much to the T. So that has generated kind of a type of disruption, right? Because we took out a ton of unmitigated points. 1, 2, 3, right? So as you can see, this generated a quote-unquote disruption, continued lower, but we also generated a bullish disruption here. So we're now stuck inside a range, right? So it's a bit hard to make a play because technically bullish order flow is in play here, right? Taking out, this preliminary structure point, but we're also seeing a bullish disruption via these structural lows be taken out. So as you can see, we're pretty much stuck in a range, and it's not too appealing. Yeah, I agree with you. I would agree with that. I would definitely see that, especially because I'm seeing obviously no new structural high disruption, right? So even though we have the bullish disruption here, it could be seen as high low retracement, right? Especially because we are reacting from inside of this candle here. So yeah, I mean, I want the pullback. You know what I'm saying? Like, it makes a lot of sense. Best case scenario, I would prefer, obviously, we come back down to these discounted pricing, but right, if we look at H4, there is a very clear turbulence point there. So I mean, I'd honestly prefer the turbulence point, because let's say theoretically we reach a type of the daily candle here, maybe the wick, right? I don't want to misjudge this right here. I don't want to misjudge that and consider it to be a disruption pullback continuation. Whereas if you react from the POI, the turbulence point, then it makes all the sense in the world for it to moon, right? So that doesn't mean that this has to tap and then it can't moon. It means that if it taps here, we would probably see the pullback, but I would more than likely wait to see a new structural range be formed, and that's your conservative play. All right, does that make sense? So best case scenario, we do get the turbulence point and we go from there. But yeah, pretty much. That's pretty much all I got for today, though. I haven't had the chance. I've been super busy this week. Super busy week. Right, I'm pretty sure you see that too, right there, Falco, too. Right here. Actually, let's take this out. I know you see this as well. All right, this is annoying. I know you see that there. So you wouldn't consider these POIs valid because you're still acknowledging this as well, right? Yeah, I did, yeah. Yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah, I see what you're saying, but I'm always considering bigger picture as well. So even if I do take a type of sell position, a type of buy position here, I'm still also considering the continuation. So you also got to consider a time of day. Like, I'm saying that I'm bullish now, right? But it really all falls down to what happens during the time of day. Yeah, exactly. And that's also why, too, not enough data, which is why I wait for specific times of day, which is why I usually only trade overlap, because it just makes the most sense to me. This right here. Yeah, I did say that's my invalidation point. I said that like right when I put EU up. That's your preliminary leg. Yeah. No, you're fine. You're fine. Oh yeah, but do you guys have any questions? Oops. Any questions? We have a couple of new people in here, I think. Let's see. What do you think of EG? I haven't looked at EG. This is finally starting to pull back. So I'm good on this. I'm not trying to buy this. I'm good. Where did this react from? Who knows? Right, but this is what I like to see. We finally got a pullback after December, after 4 months. Oh, you'd have to show me, bro. I can't go based on what you're saying. I don't know what you see. You'd have to show me. H1 chart? Cool. All right, point to me where you're looking. Okay, you're pointing looking here. All right. Uh-huh. Where is inefficiency? That wouldn't be an inefficiency on this time frame. That would be an inefficiency on this time frame. There. That would be a valid inefficiency. But yeah, naturally this is still bullish technically on this time frame, but we are seeing momentum slow down. Right, but you have taken out a significant high. So in an intraday perspective, right, the bullishness makes sense, but obviously I'm not trying to buy this when I've been calling sells for over 9 months, you know? Especially if I'm looking bigger picture. Right now the thing is where are we going to retrace to? Right, maybe immediate turbulence point there with liquidity sitting above this high. But if we do reach there, then technically this is a pullback. So yeah, it's just, this is something that I also like am like kind of like iffy on. Like once EU started to slow down, it was like that my issue was I didn't know whether to still think continuation after we're so overextended or to start thinking reversal, which I eventually did, right? But I don't want to think reversal, you know? So like what I mean is like here, once this finally, once this happened, right? Once you're finally overextended, right, with zero volume, I didn't know whether I still wanted to believe continuation or if I should have started considering reversal. So that's one of the hard parts for me. Oh, yeah, bro. Let's see. You're talking about here. So you're right in terms of structural range, right? But now this is where theory comes into play, and you also got to consider overall time frames. Like you may see this as a bullish continuation, and I like that because actually, when did this happen? Yeah, it happened during overlap, which is perfect. But when it's Friday too, we are reacting from here. And like Falco said, high, low retracement. Right, so you got to consider both. And you also just reacted from H4 inefficiency right here. So unsubstantial new high based on this high here. Unsubstantial new high, deep retracement, momentum, and you now reacted from H4, on top of the fact that if you're looking at the immediate range, you're playing inside of a premium. Yeah, the volume, let's see. Yeah, this I don't like to play with this here. I don't want to play with this here. Because it's the end of the week, it's the end of session. You know, I mainly care for what happens in the volume. Overlap. Overlap. See here, overlap. Right. Decline. Creates a bearish movement. That's something for you to figure out, bro. That's a pair tendency. That's not something I can teach you. On H1, let's see. Cool. Yeah, that makes sense. I see it. Which is why I mean, that's also another catalyst supporting what I'm saying, you know. You also got to realize, right, what if we're setting up for liquidity? There. Right, like we said, liquidity, turbulence point. Right, who's to say, right, we aren't charging up, right, like we said with the liquidity video, and coming into a turbulence point to continue higher. Harris, go play your PS5, bro. My guy said he hasn't watched the course because his PS5 came in. That's such a Harris quote. Like, you see, I would get a PS5, but nah, that's bad habits, man. I have a history with video games. Right. I don't even have a console. Don't even have a TV. Is NFT launching tomorrow? No, it's launching today. Today's the 1 year anniversary. Today's the 1 year anniversary since we launched the course. Yeah, today's the anniversary. I forgot, like, just another day, you know? Yeah, time does go by fast. Surge buys bundle stake. I'm poor. I am poor. Yeah, so the owner is a really good friend of mine. Me and him are super cool. At what time is it launching? I think we're aiming for an hour and a half from now. Thanks, guys. Thank you. Let's see. But yeah, anyways, do you guys have any more questions? Or are we cool? How's everybody liking the new stuff? I mean, I know on Wednesday a lot of you hadn't gone through a lot of it, so what are your opinions now? Yeah, I think it's a very good, how do I say it? It's a great way to set a good foundation. Like, you now have all the tools to set a good foundation for yourself. Yeah. So now, like, the funny thing for me now, right, is I'm looking around. I'm trying to see who's teaching what now. So let's see if people are, because I'm seeing the point of invalidation all over a couple of people's charts, you know? Yeah. I mean, I'm not gonna call them out, but you can definitely find it. I don't even see it as a leak, but keep in mind, I've been talking about point of invalidation in posts for a long time. You know, well, not a long time, but like a couple months. You know. Yeah, so it's like it's cool. Nobody's leaking from what I know. The person that was leaking, we took them out, and they haven't even messaged us about joining back in. So I'm sure they know what's up. You know. Yeah, just gotta take them out. Yeah, the point of validation, it's a great concept. Like I think it's a great way to set a conservative SL. But like just because you're conservative doesn't mean it's tight or doesn't mean it's wide. You know. Like I'm pretty sure. I think I remember in that video we had like a 5 pip SL, but then we also had like a 2 pip SL, but it was still like secured SL. Whereas if that high breaks, then you know the valid is. I mean the validity is no longer there. Yeah, that's in the point of validation video. Raj's video everyone's going mad about. Yeah, it's good. I like it. I like it. No, bro, I can't do that. Can't do that. Sorry, bro. No, there's no. I just no. I can't do that. Like, I don't exactly know how long you've been in the group, but this leak stuff has been like an issue for a long time. So, well, not really a long time, but it was an issue like last year. Yeah, that's fine. Just unpause it. What's the issue? Yeah, that's another way of putting the point of invalidation concept. You're letting it breathe because you're setting a conservative SL. But you're also aggressive when conservative, so that's the key to high RR. All right, guys, do you have any more questions? Oh, you asked about the podcast? Where's that at? Let me see. Yeah, bro. So the issue with fucking like meeting up now is like we're gonna do it in London, but like if we need a passport to travel, then what the fuck, you know? Like I'm not gonna get a vaccine so I could travel. Like that's fucked. I can't find your message, fuck. Oh, sorry. Anniversary single by RCVETH. Yes. When is the podcast out? I don't know. I don't know. We still need an intro. We still need somebody to edit the videos, and then we just need to upload them. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, there is no date. Yeah, the NFT is cool. Like the point of the NFT is like is to give people literally a discount. You know what I'm saying? It's an indirect discount. I don't know if it'll sell out. I'm not too. I don't know. I don't really like. That's not what I'm paying attention to. I just want to see the type of people that, you know, send me their essays or send me their paragraphs. Because keep in mind, I said either send me a word, a sentence, a paragraph, an essay, or a novel. Like I'll read it all myself. You know, I want to see more so the type of people that are actually investing in it more so than who's more motivated than the other person. Fixed price. I think it's fixed price. I think we're gonna do like 0.45 ETH. Oh shit. But yeah, like for example, if you're looking at like, if you're thinking that we're gonna choose the most motivated individual, that's bullshit. Like, if you really think about it, right, whether it's when you're thinking motivation, there's two types of motivation: intrinsic, extrinsic. So, and majority of the time, you're motivated by external factors. So, like, motivation is temporary. Motivation is temporary while you have your drive, but if it doesn't work out, then you start to lose that motivation. So you've not just wasted your time, you wasted my time, you know? So I'm more so looking for character. Yeah, it's cool. I think it's fair. We pretty much like thought of a way to, you know, make it fair for the public, but also make it fair for you guys, you know? Because I don't want to just give out a discount when you guys have just paid, you know, there's people that joined yesterday, you know, like you just paid full price, but I'm announcing a discount today. No, you know, like there has to be a catch. And you guys know we don't operate like that to begin with, so. So yeah, you gotta be methodical, guys. Always, always. And also, like, the whole NFT thing is like, nobody in this niche has done it. Nobody's even talked about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't care if somebody makes an NFT now and they make more money than we do, or they make it more popularized. We're the ones that, you know, started it. Just like we started the whole IRR thing. And eventually, once people realize that, they come to us, you know? 25, yeah. But the thing is, right, just because there's 25 coins, there isn't 25 entries. Like, I think some of my friends are going to buy one, you know? Like, obviously Sergio just said his brother's going to buy one, you know? So it's like, you know, there's going to be probably, I don't even know. I can't make an estimate. I have no clue, if I'm being honest. Yeah, it's an investment opportunity, because once we close the group, even though we'll still all be talking and shit, the public, like the RCV channel, will just be a free value page. Will you keep posting to it? Yeah, bro, of course I have to. Yeah, of course. I don't know how I'm gonna be doing it though, but I mean, either way, like, there's still so much time until that happens. And also keep in mind, like, in a couple of years I'm gonna be fully licensed, so nah, fuck signals. Yeah, but I mean, once I'm like licensed and all that, I could actually give like types of advice, different types of comments. Yeah, Discord will probably still be up, but I mean, bro, don't worry about it. This is over a year away, bro. Don't worry about it. Like, I'm not worried about it yet, you know. What do you mean license? I'm going to school, bro. I'm getting my licenses. I'm not gonna tell you which ones, but yeah. I just want to get, yeah, I mean, bro, you're already getting a lot out of it, and you've only been in for a couple weeks. Like, bro, it's a year away. Don't worry about it. Like, I'm barely even worried about what I'm doing next month, you know? But yeah, you guys have any questions? I don't really want to bring that up either. Closing the group and all that. I don't want to bring that up because we're not even at that stage yet. But yeah, can we end it off there, guys, or do you guys have any more questions? We good? Bet. Cool. End it off here.